Hi guys, another Grandad's junk pile project. In this drawer here, you can probably see through the drawer, there's quite a few little circuit boards in there. Those are all receivers out of cheap radio controlled toy cars, and seeing them reminded me that I've had a few questions about how do you connect a hobby grade servo to one of these cheap receivers. And to be honest, the simple answer is you don't. The hobby grade servos, like the one in that boat just there, have 3 wires. They have a positive and negative battery feed, and a third wire is a signal wire. These cheap receivers only give you 2 wires, a positive and a negative, that just make the motor go forwards or backwards. There's no proportional faster or slower, they're just forwards or backwards. Or at least most of them are just forwards and backwards. Some of them have some sort of faster and slower, but generally they're just forwards and backwards. And there's certainly just 2 wires. There's no signal wire. So what I'm going to demonstrate is connecting a battery directly to a servo. There's no point in me rigging this up and setting up a transmitter and receiver, because we're just wasting our time. So that can go back in the drawer. I've got another boat sitting here where it's easy to get to the connector for the servo, and I've got my little battery pack there, so I'll set the camera up so we're not shaking around, and I'll show you what happens. Hopefully you can see the servo and the lead with the 3 wires on it. In this case they're brown, red and orange. The brown one is the negative, red one is the positive, and the orange one is the signal wire. Got my little battery pack here, and I've put some wires on them with nice stiff probes on the end so we can plug them into the connector here. I can't remember which is negative and positive though, but it doesn't really matter because we can just see what happens. So I'll put one into the negative terminal and connect one to the positive. Right, nothing happened at all, so I've got them reversed. So I'll swap them around. That one into the negative, this one into the positive. There. Servo moved a little bit. Didn't move very far, it just moved a little bit. Pull it out, put it back in again. If I tap it, you can see it steps round. If I reverse the wires, well, you already know what happens if I reverse the wires. Nothing. If I can actually get them in the holes. So it doesn't drive backwards when you reverse the current. Go all the way as far forwards as we can. Negative, I'll just touch it on the front and you can see it. Positive. That's it. Nothing else happens. If I go into the signal wire, probably a bad thing to do, but nothing happens. Reverse it, signal wire, nothing's happening. Negative and signal wire, nothing happening. Reverse the wires, nothing happens. So you just can't do it. It doesn't work. It's as simple as that. All that happens is when you initially plug it in, it steps a little bit. It doesn't drive all the way, it just steps a little bit. Why does that happen? Inside of the servo there's a circuit board, and the circuit board needs the positive and negative to drive it, and then it needs signals on the signal wire to tell it what to do. And if you've got no signals coming down the signal wire, it doesn't know what to do, so it does nothing. So that's why there is no point in trying to connect one of those servos to one of those cheap radio controlled receivers from a toy car, because all that you get from a toy car receiver is positive and negative, and when you want the car to go backwards you reverse so it becomes negative and positive, and that will not drive a servo. If you want to, you can modify the servo, get rid of that little circuit board, and then you can use it as a normal geared electric motor, and I've got a video on that, so I'll put a link in the video description.